Okay. CB.
I've been gone too long, coming back too strong, and you better believe I got a brand new song. I take the best you know and put them on the show. I'm on a mission to support the dope, so get your hands up high, wave them in the sky. You gotta keep it locked, I'ma tell you why. The best in the game, remember the name. Ask me again, I'ma tell you the same. Support the dope.
If you a real one.
Support the dope.
If you a day one.
Support the dope.
Let's have some real fun.
Support the dope. Hey. Y'all, Support the Dope Radio is back. I'm your girl CB. It's been a few years or so, but I'm happy to be kicking off season 6 finally. Even if y'all were tuned in from the beginning, you heard a new theme song. And that was yours truly. Shout out to Reg Young for the encouragement on doing that, because he's the one that always gives me a little swift kick when I need to, do something. And he was like, what would be a flex, Carla? Because we were talking about whether or not I was going to have a new song, and, if I was going to remix the old one. And, I was like, it's a new season. I don't know how you feel. And, he's like, Carla, do you know what would be a flex? Is if you did your own song. So here we are. I don't profess to be a rapper, singer, anything of the sort, but I hope y'all can get into that. Shonn is my guest. How you feel about the theme song, Shonn?
I love it. I listened to it in my truck the other day. That thing was thumping.
Hey, shout out to my homie Matt Carter on the track, and shout out to Larry Witt for engineering that track, because that thing sounds so smooth.
Larry was nice with it. He real nice with it.
Nice. So without further ado, I'm gonna get into today's episode. Episode 1 of season 6. I have my special guest joining me. He is a guitarist. He is the musical director for none other than the queen of hip hop. So you know her as Mary J. Blige. Yeah. His name, hailing all the way from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Shonn Hinton. Crowd goes wild.
Oh. Okay, what's
good? See, I'm gonna mess around and put the sound effects in there. the corny crowd applause.
Right.
Shonn, thank you so much for joining me, and on a brand new season, brand new platform, brand new guest. You're the first one up to bat.
It feels good to be wrong. You hear me?
Yeah, it does. So, where do we start with you? Because I know that you play a couple instruments. You just kind of profess to playing one right now, but you play a couple instruments. Take us back to the beginning of where this all started, and we'll work our way up to the musical director thing. But let's take it back.
Okay. Well, on the first day God created the heavens and the earth. No, I'm just playing.
Well, I was about to get my church ready. I was about to get my Bible out and.
Born 1979 in Rockford, Illinois, to a family of musicians. My mom was a pianist. My dad was a guitarist. We moved to Milwaukee around like 1981, 82. We played at my grandfather's church. My grandfather was a pastor. My cousins and I, we took turns playing the drums. Because isn't that the primary instrument that every musician starts out sometimes with some form of percussion in church. So I took turns playing drums with my cousins, as they would say, share the responsibilities and the duties, until I got tired of sharing the drums and expressed a fondness for playing the guitar. My mom bought me my first guitar at a pawn shop. Christmas, I'll never forget. I was 12. My grandfather showed me my first 3 chords, and I was hooked. I was, in fact, so hooked to where I suffered for my craft. Shonn, what do you mean when you say you suffer for your craft? Bedtime was 8:30 Monday through Friday. My mom said, be in bed by 8:30 because you got to get up to go to school. I said, okay. So I closed the door, turn on the radio station, and take it to Hot 102 at the time, which was the urban AC station. And I would sit on the edge of my bed and practice and listen to everything that I would hear on that station. My mother would catch me in the act, and I would get a whooping every time. So that's what I mean when I say I suffered from my craft. I played at my grandfather's church until he passed in '93. Uh, my my family, when I say my family, I mean not just my mother and my sister, but my cousins. We were all kind of like vagabonds at that point because we were trying to find another church to attend. Ended up joining Greater New Birth here in Milwaukee around like 95, 96. And I played drums. So I still know how to play the guitar, but I was a drummer. So, because I just knew for a fact that I was going to be a drummer. I was cold on drums. That's my story. Now I'm sticking to it. And I saw an opportunity to switch off and play guitar, and I did so while keeping drums in the forefront of my mind. Around 2000, now I'm fast forwarding, around 2002, I met Rex Hardy from Chicago, who's a drummer. At the time, he was on tour with this gospel tour. It was Ministandard, Trinity 5-7, and Tone. I thought for sure I was going to get on that tour because I met Rex and I was like, hey, man, I'm trying to make a name for myself in Chicago. And I didn't get it, but I got something better, which was my introduction into the secular field of music, which was being the guitarist for Dave Hollister. Big deal for somebody like me from Milwaukee. Now, granted, Chicago, this is just a job to some, but they appreciate it, but it's still a job. This was a big deal for me. So from Dave Hollister, it was a snowball effect. I met Glenn Lewis. I met Kelly Price. That opened up a door for me to play with 112. And fast forward to 2004, I got a phone call from Rex again saying like, hey, Mary's putting a new band together. You're about to get a phone call. Surely indeed, I got that phone call. And I was at the time on this gospel tour called the New Life Tour, which had Byron Cage, Percy Beatty, New Direction, Risen, and Natalie Wilson and SOP. So Ooh. I was on that tour. Rex called me about the Mary gig. We finished that tour and it worked out perfect. That's how you know like this was nobody but God, because the tour was over in March. It was like March 2nd, the tour was over, and I flew out to New York to audition for the Mary gig. So my birthday is March 9th. So I spent my birthday in New York on a Mary J. Blige gig, and I was rehearsing for a tour. That was my first big world tour because I got a tour packet saying like all of the places we were hitting in the United States as well as across the water. Like UK, we did Germany, we did London, we did Japan. I mean, we went somewhere everywhere. And from Mary, I did Angie Stone. From Angie Stone, I did John Legend. From John Legend, I did Jill. From Jill, I did Lil Wayne. And here we are now. I've been with Mary since 2004, and I am blessed and privileged to serve not only as her guitarist, but I also serve as her musical director. The grace of God, because the way I got that gig as her musical director was because the musical director before me, who I look up and admire, one of them, the great Omar Edwards, and he told the tour management like, "Hey, give Shonn an opportunity. Shonn can do it. Shonn's been with Mary since '04." And I'll never forget, this is a conversation that Omar and I had. We were getting ready to start the Good Morning Gorgeous tour with Mary. He was like, you're like the elder statesman of this organization. Like, you've been a part of every regime. Keep your heart open, keep your mind open, to other experiences, things like that. So lo and behold, he recommended me to MD, and this I'll be in San Francisco this week, the following week with Mary. So this would be my second attempt at being her musical director.
Yes, you got it. So that's you named a lot of artists that you've worked for and that you've toured with.
Yeah.
Was it always a goal of yours to be a touring musician?
Absolutely. Didn't know how it was going to happen, but I'll never forget being a kid watching the Grammys, and one of my favorite R&B groups, the Boys. I don't know if you remember the Boys. They did that song, "I Call My Baby on the Phone."
Yep.
Yeah.
I had them on a cassette tape.
I did too. And I seen them perform on the Grammys, and I was like, if these little boys can do it, I know I can. Just don't know how it's gonna happen, but I know I want to do it. And I held on to that dream, held on to that passion, and every time I would sit behind a drum set and hold a pair of sticks in my hand, that was like, I want to play and impress people. I love what I do, but I want people to walk away and be like, "Woo, that boy played them drums." Even with me as a guitarist, it's just like, I just wanted people to be like, "Yo, my man is nice." So it was always a forefront to be a touring musician. So to get the opportunity, to wish upon a star and that thing come true, that's all right in my book.
Yeah, so you're living the dream.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
living the dream.
That's what's up. So, what happened to the drums? Why, if you started out playing drums and eventually learned how to play guitar, what happened for you where you ended up deciding to pursue the guitar and not the drums?
It's a great question, Carla. Let me tell you.
That's why I'm here, Shonn.
You feel me? So, Dave Hollister tour, the Dave Hollister run I did. We were rehearsing in Burbank, California, and that was the day, that bloody Saturday, that I knew that I was to give up the ghost on drums, because everybody in the band could play drums just as well as they played their perspective instruments. So when I saw that was me accepting defeat and saying, like, okay, focus on guitar. Didn't you get tired of sharing the drums with your cousins when you were a kid playing at church? I'm not fighting nobody. Can't nobody in the band at that time could play guitar. I got y'all licked with that. I'm going to stay in my lane and keep it pushing. And that's what I did.
Well, that's one way to figure it out. Find out everybody else. You are a dime a dozen, and which is facts. I mean, a lot of people can play drums or started out playing drums, so you kind of have to be a standout, for people to kind of take notice. But how was it difficult for you to let that go, or are you just like, no, well, I rock just fine on guitar, so that's what it is.
Because once I saw the keyboard player play 10 times better than I did on drums, I was like, you can't play the guitar though, and I was like, cool.
Shout out to the keyboard player.
Freddie Moffitt, God rest his dead, but that dude got on the set and was nice. Ooh, even I'll never forget. There's a video out from some years ago, and this was another regime with the Mary organization, and the band was myself on guitar, Monty Newell on keys, Omar Edwards, Marcus Kinsey, Rex Hardy, and Robert J.J. Smith. And me and Monty were going back and forth on Talkbox. Well, this particular rehearsal, Marcus Kinsey sat behind the drums and killed. And
Come on, Marcus Kinsey.
I was like, yeah, I'm good. I ain't never, and not that I was like trying to pick it back up again, but it was just like, yeah, if there was an inkling of a ounce of thought of me trying to make my triumphant return to drums, Kinsey killed it.
Shout out to Kinsey. He was a guest on Support the Dope Radio like way back. I don't even know if it was maybe season 2 or a long time ago. So shout out to the homie.
Yeah, shout out
Marcus
to the
Kempsey
homie. That's
killing
my
it.
little bro. Yeah, that's my little bro. For real, for real. But yeah,
Yeah,
so it was easy. It was very, very easy to say, like, okay, I'm good. I ain't got to play drums no more.
yeah,
I went
good.
quietly into that good night.
Stay in your lane, like you said.
Exactly.
So going on tour, how old were you when you went on your first tour?
When I went on tour with Dave Hollister, I was 22.
Okay, so still pretty young.
Still pretty young.
What if anything did that tour kind of teach you about being a touring musician that maybe you didn't know going into the tour?
I didn't know anything going into the tour, so I was learning in real time. I was learning and experiencing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, um, one of the big things that I learned about was you don't have to bring a guitar amp to stuff. Like they rent backline. I didn't know about backline. I didn't even know about a rehearsal space. You know, thinking coming from like rehearsing at church on Saturdays
Yeah.
for choir rehearsal. You didn't know of other places to rehearse. So just being in California was a culture shock for me. Then to be engulfed in the musical culture, you know what I'm saying? Like doing this for a living, it was just like, oh my God, I was seeing stars. Like I would get dizzy, just like, oh my God, like this is what I'm doing for a living. You know what I'm saying? And with great gifts comes great responsibility. I learned about being punctual, you know, being on time for a lobby call, them not waiting on you, especially if you're in a van and you gotta, you know, the van is leaving at 12. You don't come downstairs at 12. You know, we're leaving at 12. You downstairs at least by 12:45. So, you know, you got grace period. So that was one of the biggest things that I learned that still sticks with me to this day because you know, you have to respect everybody else's time. That's big. Like, there are no big eyes or little you. Yeah, we might be good at our gifts and abilities and the roles that we play, but let's keep in mind we're still the supporting cast. So we're not the stars. Our name right on the marquee.
Mm-hmm. So, what would you say if someone that is, maybe as young as you were, getting ready to go on tour, or even just thinking about wanting to go on tour, uh, what is the one thing you think is like the most important thing for them to understand about what the tour life brings or the demands of tour life?
Um, whew, uh, yeah, it's so much that I could say. Um, it is a high demand. Like, yeah, you might be in California rehearsing, you might be in New York rehearsing, but you in LA and you in New York for a reason, and that's to get a job done. Don't get caught up in the hype because it's so easy to get caught up in the hype. I'm in New York. I'm gonna be late because I'm at the music store. I'm gonna be late because, you know, I'm at the mall, or I'm gonna be late because I'm picking up this guitar from this company and stuff like that. Like, manage your time wise so you can be on time for what you're actually there for. You know, so don't get and it's easy to get caught up in the hype, especially if you've not ventured outside of your, you know, your state and you're experiencing something like that for the first time. And like it could be overwhelming, and you know, and it's not enough hours in the day for you to do the things that you want to do. But you have to keep in mind you're there to do a job. Do your job, do it well.
Yeah. What kind of things can happen anytime you're doing something live? Like even when I used to do my podcast live, there's always the chance of something going wrong, even if it's a technical issue. Um, what kind of things can go wrong during a live show, and how do you accommodate that in your role?
Um, it's like the game of golf. No matter where the ball lands, play through. Play through. Something like Pro Tools can stop working. If Pro Tools stop working, don't mean you stop working. Keep going. Like you got to think about it. We spend months on months rehearsing uh, a show for the artist. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, you've rehearsed it so much until it's muscle memory.
Right.
Well, if should Murphy decide to show his or her face, you know who Murphy is, right? Anything that can go wrong will go
Yep.
wrong. When
Murphy's
Murphy get
Law.
there, you still work, you grind it out, and those that's one of the biggest things. Like, you know, people go to concerts to feel a certain way, so you're not really being sold music; you're being sold a feeling. Cornell Thickpen, God rest his dead, told me I learned this earlier on when I first started playing with Mary, and he was saying about how, you know, you don't know what a person was going through when they heard, Through the Fire with Shaka Khan. And I think about that because my mom loved that record, and I know how that guitar solo made me feel.
Right.
So you want the concert goer to have that same feeling because you don't know what they was going through when they heard My Life. You don't know what they was going through when they heard Real Love. So you want to capture that magic every time. So the goal is to do that, but Murphy shows up sometimes, but you got to keep
Mm-hmm.
pushing. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's it.
Well, you're a professional, so you know how to keep your composure.
Absolutely.
No,
Never
I
let me
mean,
see you sweat.
or falling out in laughter.
Yeah, that too. I just have to duck down if I got to laugh hard.
Duck down the corner. Everyone's like, "What happened to Shonn?"
Right. I gotta wait until after the last song before we start the second set. So if I'm dipping down to get a swig of water, I got to chuckle a little. Got to get the giggles out.
Get the giggles out. That's my thing. You got to get the giggles out.
Got to get him out.
So how did it happen that you ended up getting this role? Well, first tell me what the role of a musical director is to you. Like what is it that you're called to do?
I love it. I love that the fact that you said, "What is a musical director to me?" Because it could be wrong, but to me, just
Right.
based off of uh, the musical directors that I've had the privilege of working under, what I've learned from them is it's just managing personalities and being the liaison from the band to the artist to the front of house engineer to the monitor engineer to the lighting guy to all of the working parts that makes that particular show what it is. And it's just communication. Just good communication and leadership. And being a leader. There's a difference between being a leader and being a boss. A boss dictates, a leader inspires and motivates. And because
I like that.
every musician knows, like, let's just talk about the Mary Band right now. We all know how to do what we do. We're good at what we do. So all I am is pretty much the hose from tank A to tank B. That siphons the information to say like, hey, Mary wants this. You know what I'm saying? That or Mary wants to get rid of this song, or she wants a verse, a chorus, a bridge, and out, that type. That's what a musical
Okay.
director is to me. Good leadership, great communication, two major components to make something work.
So someone out there that says that they want to be a musical director, is it possible for them to prepare for that kind of role? Or how can they prepare for that kind of role?
It is absolutely possible, and I'm a living witness because, again, I sat with Rex Hardy, who was Mary's musical director. I sat with Omar Edwards. I sat with Adam Blackstone. I've sat with Eugene Man Roberts, who's the musical director for John Legend. I've sat with Thaddeus Tribbett, who was the MD for Jill when I was playing with Jill. Like, I sat under them. I watched how they worked. I watched how they operated. I watched how they moved. I wanted to see what their template was. So for a young musician, you could be an older musician and out, and you want an opportunity of just that. If that's what you want to do, then I would sit with every musical director possible, and it can span from the secular world to the gospel world. Like, Another great musical director is my uncle Cortez Burke. I sat under him as a drummer and as a guitarist. So you get to see all of their inner workings, what their thought processes are. And that's all it is. You need some type
So
of a template, you know?
so take us back to the moment when you found out you were being asked to be Mary's musical director. How did that happen?
Okay. I was nervous as a lone tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs when it was brought to me. And I say that because I will never forget, this had to be in like maybe 2005, 2006. I had my very, very first opportunity at being Mary's musical director. And I failed horrendously because I truly didn't know what being the musical director meant. I
Mm-hmm.
had the right intentions, but the lack of information, and I failed, you know. So uh fast forward to 2023, April of we were in Santa Barbara, California. We all got to the hotel because we had like a couple days before we had to do the show. And the first day of rehearsal, I'm in the lobby, and the road manager, the tour manager, walks up to me and says, "Hey, Shonn, did you get my email?" I said, I didn't get the email. I got it. So I checked. When I saw it, he was telling me at the same time, like, "Hey, uh, Omar said that you should be the musical director because he wasn't gonna make it, and I've been there, you know, and you've been there the longest, so you should do it. Are you interested in doing it?" I was like, okay, I'll do it. And that's exactly how it went. It wasn't like Excalibur, it ascended from the sky, and I was King Arthur.
How did that feel after knowing that the first time you had the opportunity at the role, you feel like you failed? You know, how do you feel now that this opportunity is being extended to you again?
Um, I was nervous, but at the same time, I felt like I was prepared because, again, I sat under some great musical director, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and I wasn't as fearful in the sense of should I do this or shouldn't I do this? No, I knew that I could do it. I was just nervous because it happened so abruptly. It's almost like what's the name of that show? I think it's called Designated Survivor, where Kiefer Sutherland played the backup president because something happened to the other president, so
Mm-hmm.
he had to assume the responsibilities. And that's how I felt. It's like, okay, cool, I can do it, but man, this is so abrupt. So I was prepared though. Like I was ready to take it. I was ready to try my hand at it again.
Yeah. Well, the fact that you could acknowledge the first time as a failure, or that you failed, I don't want to call it a failure, but you did acknowledge that there are some things that happened that first time that shouldn't have, or that went the wrong way, or maybe you made the wrong
Yeah.
decision. So that, of course, is going to, prepare you for round two, because now you know what not to do. But I feel like even that it might even be a greater pressure. It's what if I fail again? Or, what if this isn't any better than the first time? Like, what if they're like, oh, he's just same old Shonn that dropped the ball the first time?
Right.
What is like, do you feel that kind of, well, did you? I mean, you've been at this a while now,
Did
but
I
did
feel
you
that
feel
kind
that
of
kind of
pressure?
pressure?
No, not
Yeah.
at all. Because
Okay.
where I am in my life right now, I understand that the only true way to fail is to not even try.
Facts.
That's the only true way that you can really really fail is if you don't try. Now, when you're putting forth effort and you're learning as you grow, and they're patient, that's a conducive space for growth and maturity. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't I didn't feel the pressure that I thought I would have felt. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times there was this saying that I heard that I kind of I cling to a lot. We dress, rehearse, pain to be tragedy to the punch. And what that means to me is like I spend a lot of time trying to, you know, work out the variables in my head. What if this happens? Well, what if that happens? And what if I do this? Or what if I don't do this? Like you can spend time on the planning committee, or you can spend time on the welcome committee. You know what I'm saying? So welcome everything as it comes and just grow.
Mm-hmm.
That's it for me. So I took that approach. That's what it was. Like, you know, I'm a 44-year-old African American male who has a therapist. So nothing really shakes me that hard because, you know, I'm able to have honest conversation with myself. And with those honest conversations, it helps me to, you know, maintain my confidence, uh, not be arrogant, but be confident in knowing who I am and trusting my own inner dopeness. Hence, support the dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, you know. So let's think about. Well, I guess maybe I can narrow it to Mary. Um, do you have a favorite song that you like to play? That when it's time to play that song on a set list, like this is your jam. Like it's time. I've been waiting for this song. What's that song for you?
There are two songs. There's more than one. It's two.
Okay.
And for different reasons. Love Without the Heartbreak off of her brand new album because that song grooves so hard. Like it ain't no moving. You just it feel good and it feel like it's a ballad, but it's like an up tempo ballad, and that thing just feels so good. It feel like it's easy like Sunday morning. My second favorite song is My Life because I get a nice chunk of a solo and I get to unleash hell every time. So yeah.
That's what's up. Do you have a favorite song that you've ever played, like with any artist? Do you have an all time favorite?
Oh wow. Jill Scott's Long Walk.
Uh huh.
Jill wanted a different version of that song, and what we did was we remixed the song and played Barry White's "Playing Your Game, Baby." So that
Yeah.
and we stayed there to get that to your ears. I'm pleased. Yeah, that thing felt good. That's my favorite one from Jill. Uh, my favorite one from Lil Wayne is Lollipop. Uh, because we used to like, because the way our approach to Lollipop was more so like rock, like pop rock. So
Mm-hmm.
Lollipop, it's a keyboard going. I was playing that on a guitar overdrive, and that just went over so well. John Legend's I think it's called Our Love. It's a slow one, but it's a guitar part, like, and it sounds like some Jimi Hendrix type of riff that would be played. So, Angie Stone, Black Brother, 112 would be Some More. I think that's the name of the one. You Want More? I think it's just Some More. I think that's what it is because I did it with them on the Jay Leno show. I think that's it. I think that's it. Dave Hollister's Girl, I Gotta Go. I Can't Stay.
Uh-huh. Can't
That was
say.
my favorite one. Yeah. And then Kelly Price, You Should Have Told Me.
Mm-hmm.
That Glenn Lewis and Don't You Forget It. Don't
Mm-hmm.
you forget. I used to like some of my favorite songs because I used to hear them on the radio. But thank God at the time, like a lot of stuff was very, very guitar heavy, whether it was electric or whether it was acoustic. So,
Yeah. Well, so what are there anything that you can think of that you haven't done that you still want to do, or any artists that you want to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
yeah, I still want to do pop. I would love to do a pop tour. I would love to do a
Okay.
country tour. I would love to do a
Mm-hmm.
rock tour. I would love to work for John Mayer. I would love to work with Sting. I would love to work with Taylor Swift and Chris Stapleton. I would love to do them. Not to be closed minded to anybody else. Let's just say if Adam Blackstone calls, we're like, hey, uh, Justin Timberlake is getting ready to do rehearsal. You want to do this gig? Oh, let's go.
Absolutely.
I'm there. I'm absolutely there. So, but as it pertains to like my favorites, like I would love, those are the people that I would just lose it. Especially Sting, man. I love Sting. Sting is
Yeah.
just such an awesome artist, and he writes such awesome songs and just creates such wonderful experiences. You know, that's one of my
Yeah.
favorite
So,
songs is Fragile. Like that song is amazing.
you've done a lot already, but it sounds like you have a lot more you want to accomplish, which is dope. Um, how does your mom feel now about you playing in your room at night past 8:30?
She's proud. My mother is very, very proud. Like seriously, even as an artist, she sees what I'm doing because that's the other thing. Like, granted, I want to work with all these other artists as well, just because I like to have it under my belt. But you know, the big goal is, I want to win a Grammy. I want to win the Soul Train Music Award, the BET Award, the American Music Award. Like, I want to act. I want to be the musician who's a special guest star on Law and Order SVU, or that's in a funny comedy movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the big thing.
Okay. Get your Jamie Foxx, Ludacris on, like.
You know what I'm saying? For real. Absolutely.
We'll have the Fast and Furious people call you when we get off the
Let's
interview.
go. I'm ready. They say you stay ready. You ain't got to get ready.
That's right. So you as an artist, because you're not only a touring musician and musical director, you have your own artistry as well, and you're putting out your own music. Talk to us a little bit about the type of music you do for yourself, and what all aspects do you have your hand in creating it?
Wow. Well, my music of choice, I enjoy doing. I love all genres of music, and if you listen to my music, you would hear a lot of key influences in the music. But what I've been on as of lately, I went back and embraced my R&B roots, and that's the music that I've been creating. I issued a challenge to myself around May. I said I wanted to write. I wanted to write a song a day. Not focusing on the quantity of songs that I write, but the quality of songs that I write. So I kept that in mind with what I did. And with writing a song a day, I've built up quite the catalog where I could drop a single every 30 days. So as it stands right now, like I'm covered up until February, which means I need to get back to work. But I oversee the entire process being a producer, who's more than just a music composer or a beat maker, if you will. Like, I oversee it from its conception to its birth in every aspect of it, from the musical aspect of it to how I mix it, to mixing and mastering, to doing the artwork, to doing the market and promoting.
Come on, artwork.
I oversee it all. I am a one one man operation, and it's good because, again, it's almost like being the musical director for Mary J. Blige. You're nervous because it's happening so swiftly, but you're not nervous in the sense of, can I do this or not? No, I
Right.
know that I'm equipped to do this. I know that I am. I just gotta, the nervousness, to me, I equate that to just being in my way. Gotta get out of my way, So yeah, I oversee it, and it's R&B, and it's love songs, it's love music, it's timeless music, it's classic music. Nothing vulgar about what's happening with what I'm singing. Like, you can really, really, and even if it is somewhat vulgar, it's cleverly done where you don't have to, like, your kids can sing it. And like, I got a new single that's dropping in August, and the name of the song is called Mojo, and it's a feel good stepping record. I ain't saying nothing vulgar.
Mojo was fire. For y'all that haven't heard it yet, because I heard it. I got a little sneak peek. That song is hot.
I think
Make
the
sure you guys
hardest thing,
keep an eye out for that.
come on. The hardest thing I said, I don't know if it's just me, but them painted on jeans and them red high heels got me feeling some kind of way. You know,
Come
that's
on.
equivalent to saying,
Talk your talk,
you
Shonn.
feel me? Mighty fine. You know what I'm saying? That's what I equate that to. So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's something that
That's
everybody
what's
can
up.
enjoy for sure.
Okay. So shout out to being a 100%er.
Come on.
That's what y'all were.
You understand?
But you also feature some other dope artists sometimes that you collab with, or some other people that you worked with on your music.
Okay, so Valentine's Day of this year, I dropped an album entitled Art, which was a long time coming. On this album, I was privileged to have some of the greats on this album. Paul Jackson Jr., who played on the Michael Jackson Thriller album. He's Ricky Minor's right-hand man on guitar. Lawrence Jones, a Chicago native. His brother Paul Jones. This guitarist out of Chicago by the name of Jeremiah Jerby J. Sutton. Rex Hardy on drums. Jermaine Point Dexter on drums. Stephen Freeman, who lives in Atlanta out of South Carolina. Monty Newble. Jonathan Dubose Jr., Rodney East, Marcus Kinsey, my boy Bam, Brandon Hodge, who produced Usher's No Limit record. He's on my album. Then, I'm always going to have to bring it home. So my hometown heroes, up from young up and coming to the old, like my boy Lil Quentin, who lives in LA now. He's on the record. My cousin, who I used to share drums with, who now plays bass for Eric Benet. He's on the album. My good friend and brother, Aaron Adi Moore, is on the album. We got a song called Fly to Me. And I think I named everybody. I actually have my brother-in-law on my album. He did a prayer, which leads to the last and final song on the album. So, yeah. Oh, Jubu, John Jubu Smith, Elijah Baker. Can't forget them two. Like, they killed. Like, if you know who Jubu is, then you know how dope Jubu is on guitar, because he played for Frankie Beverly and Maze. And he has his own group called Legally Belong.
Nice. Shonn Hinton dropping them names. Like you did a good job. That was a lot of people, Shonn. I don't know if I would have made it through.
I named everybody. I didn't leave out nobody.
And as soon as we end this, you're gonna be like, "Oh, doggone it!
I forgot about that one. I probably forgot everybody. I know I did.
No, that was good. That's what
I did. Chris Payne.
See? I knew I just gave it an extra minute.
Chris.
Let it breathe for a second. Somebody gonna pop up.
Bro, for real. Chris Payton, that's my boy.
Now, Chris is like, thank you for waiting for that.
Yeah,
20 seconds.
Say the best for last.
Right. How do people tune in or find your music? Where can they find that at?
You guys could find all of my music on all major streaming platforms. So wherever you stream your music, however you stream your music, if you're Apple Music subscriber, I'm there. If you're a Tidal Music subscriber, I'm there. Amazon, Google Play, Deezer, I'm there. Shazam, you can Shazam, like if you just so happen to hear my music on your computer, I'm there. Like Shazam it. To see you to all of them on YouTube, Google Play, if I hadn't said that already, Amazon Music, Yahoo. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I covered. Streaming is cool. Let me say that. But oh my goodness.
However, downloading
is a completely different thing. You know what I'm saying? And when you download my album, when you download my singles,
that's real. Download is when you know the love is
That's how you
real.
really show me you love me. Come on,
Right.
somebody.
Come on, Jarrell. Jarrell popping up in the podcast.
Come on, man, for real.
No, that's good. No, I really appreciate you taking the time to come talk to us and kicking off the season with me. I hope you had fun on the
I
show.
really did. This is so dope.
We'll have to do it again. We got through some technical issues. That's gonna be our story.
That's our story.
When we tell the behind the scenes story later, when they do the documentary later.
That's gonna be fun.
But we made it.
we crossing the finish line right now.
Right. But I appreciate you hanging with me. Is there anything that you want to share with the people that are listening that we haven't talked about, or something that you want them to know about Shonn Hinton? This is your platform, your time to tell your story. So I'm going to make sure I leave space for that for you, because that's why we're here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Listen, let me say this. This is how we provide for our family. This is how I provide for my family. I love being discovered. So I'm grateful to my girl CB and Support the Dope, because if you don't know who I am, you're getting to know who I am just by listening to my story. Support goes a long, long way. I know that I'm gaining I have your attention now. I promise you, once you listen to the music, I will keep your attention. And just please continue to stay tapped in, because like I said, I've purposed it in my heart, and I am dropping music every 30 days. So I'm in your face. I got my foot on the gas. I took the brake pedal off. I ain't got nothing but open road, no accidents. We going in. Please stay tapped in.
All gas,
and
no
if
brakes.
you keep God first, like I'm keeping God first, you won't be last. And that's it. That's all.
Come on. That's how you end a show. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much. Tell everybody where they can follow you if they're looking for you on social media.
Okay. You can follow me by typing in your search engine and Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, ShonnHinton. That's easy. You type in my name, this mug is gonna pop up. And all you gotta do is just hit follow, like, all that good stuff, and you'll be tapped in to everything that I'm doing. So do that.
Tapped in,
and I follow back. I just want y'all to know I do follow back. I'm not that way. I'm down like 4 flats on the car. Let's go. 4 flats on the hatchback, baby.
Let's go. Shonn, thank you so much. To everyone that tuned in, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you tell a friend. Support the Dope Radio is back, better than ever, bigger than ever, all that good stuff. Make sure you guys keep it tuned in. If you're not already, you can follow us on Instagram at Support the Dope. You can follow us on Facebook at Support the Dope Radio. You can go to the website, supportthedoperadio.com. And on there, you will find some more information about the podcast. You can sign up for the email list so you can keep stay up to date with what's going on with the podcast. If we have any announcements, who's coming up on the show, all those things will be there. There's some pictures there for you to scroll through. I know y'all like pictures. And you can also see all the streaming platforms that we're on for you to check into the podcast. You can listen to it in a way that's most convenient for you. And we have a lot there right now. I won't try to name them all because I'm not Shonn. I'm not that talented. I'll forget something. But pretty much where you listen to your podcast, you can find Support the Dope Radio. There are a couple more that I'll probably be adding in the near future, but I think we're pretty covered for now. So you guys have no excuse to support the dope. So make sure you guys do that. Stay tuned. Next up, we have the man, the myth, the legend, the husband, the pastor, the father, Baby Dub, owner of My Block. Warren Campbell is up next on the show. So make sure you guys, you want to tune into that. So keep it coming. This is how we rocking all season long. So make sure you keep it locked. Stay tuned. We'll see you again next time. Once again, this is season 6, episode 1 with my guest Shonn Hinton. And we'll catch y'all on the flip side.
All right.
CB out.